For our next interview, we're speaking about the National Theatre Arts Company. Yes, there is a National Arts Theatre Company, and they're doing some wonderful things, some wonderful initiatives and plays. They're here to talk to us more about the company as well as the play that's coming up. Welcoming via Zoom, we have Siobhan Church Isaacs, who is a founding member of the National Theatre Arts Company, also a cast member of the upcoming play, and we have Ruby Paris, who is also a member of NTAC. Thank you and welcome to AM Prime. Nice. Good to have you both on. All right. So we're going straight to it. Please tell us more about the National Theatre Arts Company for persons who don't know about it.
Siobhan, your mic isn't on.
Yeah, I think you're muted, Siobhan.
Right, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Girl, it's early morning.
I know, and it's technology, people. You know how it is with technology. It happens. Yeah.
So the National Theatre Arts Company, we started about 9 years ago, 2014 in August. And we started with 13 members. And we've been functioning ever since. We've worked with people like Ralph Campbell, Miss Gemma, who else again? Sorry. But those were the people who started with us, right. Gemma Redmond, sorry. So Gemma Redmond and Ralph Campbell is who we started off with when the company started. And yeah, we're still here. A lot of people doubted us, but we are still here and we're standing strong. We have such amazing members. So many members have passed through. But what I will say is the members that we have right now are really strong actors, thespians. They're absolutely amazing. The energy and the vibe and the artistry that you get from us is truly remarkable. And yeah, all our plays are very well received. And I am more than positive when you come to Jean and Dinah, they're going to really, really enjoy this cast.
Nice. Before we get into this upcoming play, which I'm excited to learn about, tell us about in terms of the mandate for the National Theatre Arts Company. You know, since inception, 9 years is a long time. How were you able to see the developments and growth of theatre arts in the country, based on the work that you all have been doing?
Well, the thing about it is the National Theatre Arts Company consistently works. Unlike other organizations who may just do shows ever so often, we are continuously working all the time. So this is actually an 8-hour job. It's not like you have a show, you just come for 3 or 4 hours and then you leave, and probably it happens twice or 3 times for the week. And because we are constantly training, I feel as if it's actually in our bodies. So certain things come to us so naturally. And it helps with the development because you're constantly training all the time. And you see it because when a member first starts and where you see they are now probably 9 years later or 5 years later or 3 years later, 2 years later, you see the growth. And it's so remarkable to the point where, somebody may know a particular actor or actress and they say to themselves, wow, this person has really changed. Wow. I'm watching their presence on stage and this is not the same person I've been seeing. And I think what works for us is the fact that we're continuously working all the time. We work from Monday to Friday, 10 to 6.
Right. So it's not just something that we do because, people, the perception is theater, arts, it's a performance, but it's a lifestyle. It's a job, it's a career. Tell us in terms of the landscape, the national landscape in this country, is our culture still into going to see plays? I know that's something that used to be really big, but are you still seeing the interest of persons wanting to come to see, a performance on stage?
I'd let Ruby take that question.
I think we have to consider that theater is one of the oldest practices in the world.
Yes.
So you have maybe carpentry before that, but theater is always going to live on. Having an audience will always be something that exists. And the faces of that audience will change as time goes on. Even in the age of technology where things seem to be replacing others, because theater is a living and breathing space, you will always have people who need to see and be in that space and live in that space. Like, there are no robots for actors. Like, you have to show up and get the job done. So the faces of the audiences have changed, and it will continue to change as time goes on. But theater itself and the space of theater will always have life.
Okay. All right, great. So in terms of this presentation that's coming up, you know, Gene and Dinah, it's Tony Hall's classic. Why was it important to honor Tony Hall in this way?
Well, for one thing, it's a classic, and it's Tony Hall. Another thing, I do believe that this is one of the more challenging Caribbean plays that for an actor to do. You know, Gene and Dinah, it's not a happy story by any means. Yes, I would consider it a dramedy, a drama comedy, but it's not a story that you go into with the expectation that it's going to keep you on that feel good. You know, it's a traumatic story, and it's a story about two sex workers who are out of their prime, and they are retelling their journey and understanding and unfolding that trauma, and trying to hold each other accountable for the wrongs that have been done in that journey. So it's not by any means a play that you expect to go to and you're like, I'm just going to laugh for the entire time. There are funny moments because it is innately a very Caribbean, a very Trinidadian play, a very Trinidadian play. Like, we do have a culture of picong where we laugh at things that are very, very serious. And as it moves on that kind of rhythm, the more stories that are told, the more you realize that these people are living through their trauma and masking it with comedy, which is a direct reflection of what we do as Trinbagonian people.
Yeah. Do you think that the topic of the play is something that needs to be ventilated a little bit more? That is something that we don't necessarily talk about?
Oh, 1,000.
Yeah, a lot of the. But
no problem.
a lot of the issues that and the topics and the things that happen in the play, I'm pretty sure that each and every person would be able to connect with it in some sort of way, because if it didn't happen to you, it may have happened to a friend, it may have happened to a family. And that's the thing about theater. We reenact real life, you know what I mean? And sometimes when we do this, there's a thing with Trinidadians, certain topics, like whether it be rape or a killing, we tend to laugh. And a lot of times when we do plays and we have these things, the same people who are affected, you would see them laughing at that particular thing. And I guess that's the way how they would deal with it.
Right.
An experience that would have happened to them. And I think it's just a Trini thing, where certain topics we tend to laugh at. And that's how we deal with our trauma.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely people will be able to identify and connect with it. Some people will be uncomfortable, but that's theater.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if Ruby want to add to that.
Yes. Just to piggyback on what you're saying as well, and adding to a previous question that you asked about why we thought to honor Tony Hall in this way. As a playwright, what Tony Hall has mastered is being able to identify archetypes in Caribbean culture that links to our traditional characters. So in a way, you will always find parts of yourself in this play. Traditional characters are part of who we are as Caribbean people, as Trinbagonian people, and it's very special to Trinidad and Tobago to be able to see, oh, in this moment I feel Baby Doll energy, in this moment I feel Jamet energy, in this moment I feel Peregrine, Midnight Robber, and that's deliberate. There's nothing about that's by accident. Because when we leave home, we, whether consciously or not, we kind of embody these characters throughout the day. And those archetypes that I think make this play such a classic. And be something that lives on in Trinidad and Tobago's culture, theater culture.
You know, speaking about embodying these characters, how do you both get into character? What sort of work goes into being able to take on the life of this character that you're now tasked to play?
Well, we've been doing a lot of research.
Okay.
A lot of research, a lot of observation of people and that kind of thing, going down in particular areas, specific areas in Trinidad and Tobago, and doing the observations. We did things like even driving down Murray Street.
Okay.
We went to Lucky Jordan as well. We spoke to the people down on that side because a lot of the play takes place there as well. And one of the things that we're in the process of too, or we would really like to do, is actually interview prostitutes, you know. And people probably say, oh my God, you all want to do that? But yeah, yeah, of course, because that's who we're playing.
Yeah.
So we need to get into the minds of them and understand their story. Tony Hall did an amazing job writing the play. But we also know it's so necessary to do the extra research for us to really become the character and really embody it. And one of the things that we realize is that prostitutes of back in that time and the prostitutes of now are really different. They really are different. You know, times has changed, the fashion has changed, time, people, place, everything has changed. So yes, doing the research and going to those places, but also trying to remember how it was back in that time. So, you know, going on the internet, whether it be going to National Archives, reading up on old, like, newspaper clippings, etc., to see how the time was back in that time, you know, how things were back in that time.
Right.
So, yeah, Ruby, you want to add as well?
Okay.
I would
Sure.
understanding that time helps with molding the world of the play as well, understanding what was happening in the country at that time, and the full journey from the time that we meet Jean and Dinah to the times that we see a young Jean and Dinah, understanding what was happening politically, understanding what was happening socially, really influences and informs the playing of the characters. Outside of that, we would have just personally done like voice work or physical work, like change your topography, because trying not to look like yourself. And once you start molding your body into a habit that reflects what the character will do, everything then starts to unfold naturally for the character.
Right. So give us some more details on the play now. You know, where can persons get tickets? Where is it happening? When is it happening?
So the play is happening at Queen's Hall on March 30th, 31st. You can get your tickets at Queen's Hall. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Shippy?
It's $80. It is $80.
Okay.
People have been messaging us, asking us questions a lot about the play. No, we can't hold tickets. Unfortunately, we cannot hold tickets. First come, first serve, and this is such a big play. I know everyone is looking forward to seeing it, and also it's a play that hasn't been done in quite some time. So I know people are really, really looking forward. So you all really need to go you all really need to get your tickets. You really need to go get it. Tickets are already moving very fast from my understanding. And it's only 2 nights. But trust me, when you leave, it will be truly impactful.
Right. I was going to ask how long it was running for, because I know usually when the company puts out an ad about an event, a play, usually, you know, it goes really fast. So 2 nights. Okay. Tell us why persons should come to see that play.
Why not? Why not? I mean, outside of the fact that the National Theatre Arts Company has had many plays before, and not just the fact that we've had many plays, but the standard of the plays that we've produced are always well received, you know, and that's why all the time our shows are always sold out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we thank God for that. We thank God for our director, Belinda Barnes. She has been doing such an amazing job with the cast. We are very thankful for our cast itself, our players. We are a team. There's a natural synergy that happens between us, and we have some of the most talented actors in the National Theatre Arts Company. A lot of people know them from the Peony and the Kieran Samuel and Chanel Connell and Sintaiki Bishop, and we have Patty and Ali. A lot of names that people would know, you know, and their work speaks for itself. Yeah. You know, so come out and support theatre. Yes. Support theatre. Remember, we were down for some time, you know what I mean? So let's perform, let's come out and support the arts, which is very important.
Yes. One more question before you leave, and this is more concerning theatre arts itself. We have a lot of students, a lot of children who, you know, see, you know, performances on stage, you see persons acting in shows, and they want to aspire to be like that. But they may not necessarily know that it can be a career. What advice would you give to them, those who are hearing the interview? I mean, they can't see this play because it's for adults only, but in general, in terms of, you know, understanding now, okay, there's a National Theatre Arts Company. This thing is serious. What advice would you give to them?
Okay. Challenge yourself. From now, it doesn't matter what trajectory your life takes. If you think theatre is your passion or acting is your passion, from now, challenge yourself. Record yourself doing monologues, watch it over, give yourself feedback, give yourself critique, ask people for feedback, post it online. I mean, if anything, the pandemic has shown us that nothing is inaccessible. Yes. You can do everything through social media. Create short films, write. You see, journaling as an actor, it is a huge strength and not to be taken for granted. Write your innermost thoughts, and that in itself becomes a monologue. That in itself can spark a play. That in itself can spark a production. You see, what people forget is that Trinidadians Trinbagonians were naturally storytellers. Yes. And storytellers, we are naturally actors. Once somebody's paying attention to what you have to say, that's an audience and you're a performer. So share your stories and take the leap. Forget about what people have to say. That's their limitation on your capabilities or how far you could reach. Why not go for the best? Why not shoot for the stars? Why not give yourself the best that you deserve? And the best starts with believing in yourself and challenging yourself to see how far you can expand. You owe it to yourself.
Yes, well said. Thank you so much, ladies. This has been Ruby Paris and Siobhan Church Isaacs, and they've been telling us about Gene and Dinah, the upcoming play of the National Theatre Arts Company. Go get your tickets. Where can persons find you on social media if they want to learn more or find out where they can get the tickets? Where are you on social media?
So we have our Instagram, which is the National Theatre Arts TT.
Okay.
Right? Be sure, go follow the page. We're on Twitter as well as NTACT, NTACTT. Yes. And we're also on Facebook. So all you have to type is the National Theatre Arts Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and you will see us. And it's very up to date. It's all the updates are there as to even like behind the scenes of rehearsals, and it's really nice. And you see us having a fun time too as well.
Nice.
Because that's all part of the work. Theatre is fun, you know what I mean? So yeah, be sure, like the pages, follow us, and come to this show, March the 30th and the 31st. $80, Queen's Hall. Get your tickets now.
Nice. Thank you very much, ladies. All the best with your performances. Hoping to catch it as well, too. All right?
That's right.
Yes. We take a break. When we come back, we have lots more in store. But we go to news first. See you on the other side. Bye.